Hi everybody and welcome to Heimler's History Economics Edition. In this series of lectures we finna be talking about boom boom. Hoo-hoo. Dinero. Biscuits. Boom. Money. We're talking about money. Let's get to it. Alright, let's start with the definition. What is economics? Glad you asked. Economics is, at its most basic, the study of two things, scarcity and choice. And let's start with scarcity. You see, every human at the center of their being has a giant want hole. And you could stuff everything that exists into that want hole and it would still be like... So now we got ourselves into a little scenario. We've got 8 billion people on this planet who all have these screaming want holes. And aside from the unpleasantness of the noise, there's simply no way to satisfy all their desires. You see, humans want things in unlimited quantities, and in case you hadn't noticed, in this world, there are not unlimited resources to satisfy those desires. So the fact that we all want infinite amounts of things and this world only contains a finite amount of stuff, we call that scarcity. So because this is the case, we are forced to make choices. We can't get everything we want, so we have to make choices among the available resources. And by choosing one thing, we're sacrificing another. I mean, I can't get both my Lambo and my Bentley, so I'm gonna have to choose one or the other. First world problems. So an economy is just a system that coordinates the choices that people like you and me make between one product on the market and another. And that same economy further coordinates the choices of businesses and firms so that they can decide which goods to produce and distribute. Now here in the United States we have what is known as a market economy. And in a market economy, this whole complex of decisions about producing and consuming is spread out among nearly countless amounts of choosers. Every business chooses to produce what they think is going to be most profitable, and consumers choose to buy whatever they think is going to satisfy their want hole. Now the opposite of a market economy is known as a command economy. And in a command economy, all the decisions about producing and consuming are made by a centralized authority, usually a dictator. And in that kind of economy, it doesn't matter what your want hole wants, it's gonna get what it gets. Okay, so in a market economy, as I mentioned before, resources are scarce. Now, what qualifies as a resource? A resource is just basically anything you use to make something else. And here in economics world, we talk about 4 kinds of resources: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship, which forms an easy to remember acronym LLK. Okay, so when we talk about land, we mean anything that you can cut down or dig out of God's green earth, like timber or water or magnesium, etc. When we talk about labor, we mean the effort that workers expend to produce things. When we talk about capital, we mean that tyrannical city led by President Snow that holds the districts in total economic and political oppression. Okay, I'm getting word that that's not what capital means. But wait, how do I know? That's exactly something the capital would do. Change the meanings of words to further keep us under their despotic thumb. Okay. So capital is just the factories and the tools and stuff that we use to make other stuff. That makes a lot of sense. And finally, when we talk about entrepreneurship, we're talking about the innovation and organizing of resources in order to produce. Okay, now we have established that economics is a way of understanding scarcity and choice. But let's talk a little bit more about our choices, and specifically the cost of our choices. What does it cost to make a choice? $5.99? Shut up, me from that side of the screen. That was a rhetorical question. Every choice we make costs something. You see, in the next minute, I have the choice to do thousands of competing things. And when I choose one of those possibilities, I'm saying no to every other possibility. So for the next minute, I'm going to choose to continue making this video, which means I have to say no to lots of other equally enticing offers, like getting my back waxed, or mud wrestling a baby elephant. And in economics, when we talk about all the opportunities that I lost because I chose to do this for the next minute, that's called opportunity cost. So if you decide to spend $20 on Pokemon cards, is that what the kids are playing these days? Then that means you cannot spend that same $20 asking a girl out on a date, which means you'll probably never get married and you will die alone. Well, that escalated quickly. Just trying to teach you about opportunity cost, man. So if you understand all of those terms, you'll have the very basic foundations that you need to go forward in economics. And as we end this introduction, to me it's worth asking the question, what is the point of all this? Why do we study economics? Is the study of economics worth what it costs costs us? And my answer is yes. You see, every day you are presented with tens of thousands of options in which you have to choose one way or the other. And some of those are very small decisions, like do I eat eggs or oatmeal for breakfast? Eggs. The answer is eggs. But some of them are life-changing decisions, like do I go to this college or do I go to that college? Do I spend money on Pokemon cards or do I ask that girl out? And here's the thing, even though we are presented with all of these choices on a daily basis, life does not ask us which choices we would like to make. Each day we have to find our way through thousands of choices and trade-offs. And we have to weigh each one in the balance according to their relative merits. And yet each day we are ignorant of the choices we are going to have to make. And so I think the study of economics is worth your time because it helps us to make choices for the good and the true and the beautiful. So stick around the channel and we will learn how to choose wisely from our scarce resources together.